Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rob's Books. Today I just wanted to make another type of video like this where I go over an event I recently attended, in this case being the Spruce Pine Alien Festival, which happened on June 13th. So let's not waste any more time and just get right into it. So this was an interesting event for two reasons. One was that I decided to debut one of the aliens from my book. They're called subhumans. And the idea originally came just kind of as a fun idea to like, how do I, make my booth more interesting? One idea that came early on was the idea of making my friend, Colin, into a subhuman. Now, in the book, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because, I know it's been out for a while, but, still want to keep things, a bit of a secret for those who have not read it yet. But the subhumans are tall, so it fit my friend perfectly because he's quite tall. And yeah, I thought he was the perfect candidate. I thought, hey, you know what? It'd be great to, have him out at one of these events. And he was down for it. So this was the first event he was actually able to attend. We've had this idea for a little while, and I have attended a few events, but again, this is the first one that he was actually able to attend. So that was the first reason it was interesting, is because of that, because I actually got to make my friend Colin into a subhuman, and we'll go over that process in a bit. But then the second one was that this was a event that I felt was very much so catered towards my book. And when I say catered, obviously I don't mean, oh, this was made for my book, but just more like it worked very well for my book. Because my book's about an alien invasion, and this festival is all about aliens. So the two of them, they meshed really well together. So very happy to have been able to attend this event. So let's just go ahead and get into just how all that actually went. So that day, the day of, I'm gonna be honest, I did not really get much sleep. I don't know if I got any sleep that day. We had to get up early because we were a few hours away from where the festival was actually taking place, so it was a whole thing, but it was all right. And we got there with a decent enough amount of time. We were able to get everything set up, and this was also the first event that I had to set up my own canopy. Now, at my very first event at Pumpkin Fest, I actually shared a vendor, so I didn't really have to worry about getting, my own canopy. This time I did, because this isn't, first outdoor event by myself. Now, in terms of the actual event itself, there were a lot of people. Like, I did hear that there were like tens of thousands that came apparently one year. And I'd believe it because there were a ton of people. Since we're in the midst of talking about it right now, the makeup for the subhuman cosplay, I actually tested it out myself. I had my mom actually was the one that did it, but she tested it out on me the night before just to make sure everything looked good and, she knew what she was doing. It went well, and so she had that practice for my friend Colin. So he got all into everything. We did have to make a few sacrifices for the cosplay this first go around because I did not prepare enough. So that's my mistake. Next time we have this cosplay going, which if we do decide to do this cosplay again, definitely I'm gonna have more things prepared so it actually looks more like what I'm trying to go for. The face paint was the most important part though. In the future, I would like to be able to kind of have maybe some contacts to represent the subhuman eyes better. We're probably gonna have his hair slicked back. Here it was just kind of all out because, it was going to take extra time to try and slick it back and all that. Among other things, which, again, were not able to be incorporated into this specific cosplay. And, I know I'm talking about what's missing here, but I just want to go ahead and give props to my mom for doing this. Just a big thanks for her for doing this because it actually turned out well. I was pretty happy with how this first iteration of the cosplay turned out. And so my friend went out there, just started dancing it up, just trying to advertise the book to people. Absolute champ. I mean, he wasn't running off of much sleep either, as far as I could tell. Again, just did a great job. Pretty cool stuff there on the cosplay end of things. And from the actual booth side of things, things went well. We did well on sales, and I got to meet some cool people as well. And I did go around a bit to look at the different vendors. Didn't get to see everything though, just because there was a lot, and there was a specific section that was just crowded with a bunch of people, and I didn't want to try and go through all that and be away from my booth for too long, so yeah. Oh, and another thing I want to point out is that it was really hot. It was in the 80s, but because it was humid, it felt even worse. It was insane. But we still got through it, and we still had a good time. And again, we did really well on sales. I actually got a new batch of gift boxes for this event, because we were only down to one after the last event. So we ended up having a new batch of gift boxes for this event, and almost all of them sold out. We only had like one left, so it was crazy for sure. And again, just in general, like book sales did well. Like again, to all of you that came out, thank y'all. It was really cool seeing y'all. That's the main takeaway. Sales did well. I got to meet some cool people. It was hot outside. And the cosplay, even though it didn't look quite like what I wanted it to, it still ended up looking pretty cool. And another thing is also that this was probably the longest I did an event for, because it went from 9 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. So 10 hours, but we got through it. And again, it ended up going pretty well. So overall, this was a fun event. And again, it had its hardships, but I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out. So yeah, I honestly think I'm going to be back next year because again, it was an event that did well for us. It was a good time. So yeah, likely I'm going to be back next year. So if you're going to be at the Spruce Pine Alien Festival 2027, you will probably get to see me there. Before I end this video off, I want to thank my mom again for just the cosplay, getting the makeup all done and ready for Colin. It was really cool to actually get to see that be put to action, and if it weren't for her, I don't know what I would have done. And I also want to thank my friend Colin for making it up this way to do this event with me. It was genuinely great to see you as a subhuman, and just great to see you again as well. So again, thank you both for making this event as good as it could be. And as well as my dad, of course, for helping set up as he usually does at these events. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, so I'll see you guys next time.